If the most arresting parts of the book Game Change are to be believed, behind the scenes, the 2008 race for president was run as if it were a race for high school president. And Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid is not the only Democrat facing charges his comments in the book about Senator Barack Obama were a bit racially insensitive. The book reports that former President Bill Clinton called Senator Ted Kennedy the day after the Iowa caucuses. The weak performance by Kennedy's best friend, Senator Chris Dodd, meant that Kennedy's endorsement was now up for grabs. According to the book, quote, Clinton went on, belittling Obama in a manner that deeply offended Kennedy. Recounting the conversation later to a friend, Teddy fumed that Clinton had said a few years ago this guy would have been getting us coffee. Senator Kennedy later endorsed and campaigned for Senator Obama. Meanwhile, Howard Wolfson and two other top Clinton campaign aides formed a war room within a war room dedicated to managing the threat posed by Bill's libido, specifically an alleged ongoing affair. Nor was the political marriage of Senators Obama and Joe Biden a perfect one, the book claims. After Biden's selection as vice presidential candidate, he predicted that Obama would be, quote, tested early in his presidency. The book says Mr. Obama hit the ceiling, asking, quote, how many times is Biden going to say something stupid? The book reports that Biden later defended himself, saying, in paraphrase, I guess it's a good thing I didn't say anything about bitter people who cling to their guns and religion. The book says Mr. Biden ultimately apologized and the two men reconciled, but a Biden spokesman, a former Time magazine colleague of one of the book's co-authors, says in a statement today, quote, we aren't going to comment on rehashed rumors about the campaign, but I can say that if the authors were concerned with accuracy, they might have checked their reporting with the people on the vice president's staff. They did not. The authors stand by their accuracy. Joining us tonight is another campaign trail veteran, MSNBC political analyst Jonathan Alter, who also serves as national affairs columnist for Newsweek magazine. Good evening, Jonathan.
Hi, Lawrence.
When the spokesman criticizes your methodology but does not dispute your actual facts, doesn't that kind of count as confirmation in your trade, Jonathan?
Yeah, a bit it does, but it's still good to check. And it doesn't necessarily confirm everything in the full context of this. For instance, I believe that Biden and Obama squabbled during the campaign, but I'm at work now on my own book, which is coming out this spring on the Obama presidency. And I do know, based on my own reporting, that they have an extremely good relationship now. And in fact, Obama has delegated a lot more to Joe Biden than people realize.
And given him a very important position in the White House, a West Wing office, all of that stuff, it does seem like that is campaign stuff under the bridge, the whole Biden as gaffe master in the campaign.
It is. It could always come back, but right now it's water under the bridge.
What about what we're learning inside the Clinton campaign? It was reported at the time, enough leaked out, that we were all calling it a campaign that was in disarray or certainly less professionally run than any of us expected it to be. But this stuff, with Howard Wolfson studying the former president's behavior and concluding that there was an affair going on there that was probably going to cause trouble for the campaign. This is news, isn't it?
Yes. If true, it's news, and I don't have any reason to believe it's not true. The Clinton campaign was a mess. The former president was behaving badly. I don't think he was behaving in a racist way at all, but he was clearly off his game. He was rusty. He was saying things that was hurting his wife's campaign. And overall, I do know that her campaign wanted him to shut up, and eventually they did get him to go on radio silence. And he's actually been on pretty good behavior since she's been Secretary of State.
And the Clinton world is a very high-speed reaction machine to these kinds of quotes when they come out and they're given prominent play. When we've gone this far without an energetic Clinton denial about this, what do you make of that?
Well, I heard the coffee anecdote myself. I first reported on the very angry conversation between Ted Kennedy and Bill Clinton in January of 2008 in Newsweek magazine. It was a significant conversation because it was the beginning of Ted Kennedy's indication to Clinton that he was not going to support him. Clinton was so clueless that he didn't realize that Teddy had been drifting for weeks away from Clinton and toward Obama. But I do think it's important to note that I agree with something Chris Matthews said in the last hour. I don't think Bill Clinton has a racist bone in his body, and that it's unfair to him to spin this particular anecdote as being somehow racist.
Who, in the background stories told in this book, who seems to come out the worst?
I guess I would say the Edwards family and Sarah Palin, maybe a tie between them. Not a good book for either one of them, but I think it's much more significant for Sarah Palin since she has a future in American politics and John Edwards does not. But Steve Schmidt's testimony, he was John McCain's campaign manager, about Sarah Palin not telling the truth and clearly not being capable of being president of the United States is something that Republicans should keep in mind in 2012.
Jonathan Alter of Newsweek and MSNBC, thanks for your high-speed read of the book.
Thanks a lot, Lawrence.